up and down this hill. The last couple runs, man, I thought I was gonna puke. Why would I do that, right? Why would I want to put myself through that? Because I'm in control. Yeah, granted, there's a lot of these variables, you know, a lot of these variables that will affect the way I run up the hill, the traction, even the air, the humidity has an effect. Even the pollen blowing off of the plants. That's environmental awareness, so that you're key to protecting your body. This vessel, this body of yours, the body, and you got to pump that body up. It's true what they say, man. And I talked to my dad. He says it was rough when they're growing up because it was talking about, they're talking about starvation, working in the fields as a child. In the barrio, not easy, right? So we had to put ourselves through this stimulus, because if we don't feel the pain, let's put it this way. If I go up and down this hill 10 times, for the first time, if I sprint up and down or shuffle step up and down 2 or 3 times, I'm gonna probably feel like puking. But if I'm consistent at that and I push myself, okay, let's add 1 more. Let's get to go 4 up and down 4 times, 4 sets of those. Get to 5, get to 6, get to 10. Mix up the regimen a little bit, confuse the body a little bit so it adjusts. Watch your form. You see how that's a building up process? It goes along with what I was talking about the other day, about baseball is just like life, or all the other sports are just like life, because you have to physically push yourself, so it builds this. And then you start figuring out, you're like, you know what? Something's happening to my physical output, like I'm not burning fuel efficiently, I'm not maximizing the endurance because of form, and then that starts to correct itself through repetition, because your body starts to figure it out through proper alignment, proper teaching of those principles and alignment, so that you can apply it to your life and teach somebody else. But you start to figure out, you're like, okay, something's got to change with my eating habits. It's a scientific method. You're experimenting, you're doing the what if. You're creating your hypothesis, you're creating your purpose, your hypothesis. After that, you get your materials. After you get your materials, okay, I'm gonna eat these blueberries, I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna eat Filipino food, mungo. It's the beans, good in protein. Mix that in with a little carbs, fruit, veggies, some chicken. A lot of water, tons of water. That's what's gonna make you look young, is a lot of water, keep hydrated. And then you've got after your materials, you got your procedure. How are you gonna be able to do this? The how is the means. And then after that, you're collecting all this data. Running up this hill doesn't just start collecting data there. It comes from even prior to that, the preparation before even running up and down this hill. And then after you've got your procedure, you've got your discussion, you're analyzing all the data, whether it be visual data that you can observe, like Jane Goodall did when she was observing the chimpanzees, or you're taking actual numbers, time, temperature, humidity. I mean, it depends on how detailed you want to get to be able to get the results, so that you can have a legitimate conclusion if your hypothesis or if your purpose actually does manifest itself. After you actually analyze that data, it's called qualitative, visual. Quantitative is numbers, the math portion of it, the graphing. And then after that, your discussion, you're going through your conclusion. No matter what, that conclusion is going to say something about who you are when you're applying the principles of the scientific method to yourself. Big Bang Theory, right? 13, 14 billion years ago. Creation of the solar system, 4.6 billion years ago. They're all based off of principles, and the scientific method just kept going. Whatever worked. And we're here today. You got to apply those same principles. Once you do, you start to find how relative this exercise, this fitness, this health becomes to your lifestyle. Your mindset really does change. You start to come up with an obstacle and say, hey, you know what? I can actually get past this, because it's not as painful as what I physically put myself through. It's that mental fortitude through the physical to turn it into the mental. Yeah, granted, you got to be able to commit yourself mentally to do it, but I'm telling you, the endurance and to be able to sustain it, that's where most people fail. It's like when I was doing the P90X years ago, completing the program, you have friends, people that you know, acquaintances that would do it, and they'd start, it's a 3-month program, 90 days, right? 2-3 weeks later, the pain, right? Muscle fatigue, lactic acid buildup. Muscles really, they're sore, really sore. But they're rebuilding itself so that you can go stronger next time. Go better next time. Protect yourself more next time. But then they quit. It's like the physical pain makes them quit. And they're not injured. But it's just the commitment. I mean, you can't even commit to your health. And if I can't even commit to my health, that's self-management. I can't manage myself. What is that going to do to managing my environment? What is that going to do to managing people? It's a universal principle. And it comes with, again, when you wake up in the morning, who do you want to see? Who is that person? Beep, beep, beep. Who's that little person in the mirror? That little birdie in the window? Who is that person you want to see in the morning? Who's that person that you want everybody else to see in the morning? Who's that person that you want your children to see every morning? Your children. Who's that student? Lead by example, right? Apply the principles, right? And until then, you can't advise or give people advice on how to level up if you've never leveled up yourself. To you, it's just a concept or a theory. But this ain't no concept and theory. It's physics, it's chemistry. It's principle. It's a universal principle. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you need to do. You need to get your butt off, look at yourself in the mirror, and decide what you want to commit to or what you don't want to commit to. There's no in between. Maybe I'm going to do this. It's like people that try to come into Kali Center, the classes. I'm going to stop by. I know they're not going to stop by when they got 5 minutes left till classes actually start. I know they're not going to stop by because they can't commit to it. Time is of the essence. I'm getting older, don't have time. Dude, you have time to wash your car. You have time to do all this other stuff. You got to fit it in, man. If you want to live long on this earth, as long as possible, average 80 years, I mean, shoot, that's not a long time. But you want to maximize your lifestyle, your enjoyment of this life, to travel around and to feel like nothing's physically changed in a long time. Because to be honest, you guys know me for a while. Those of you who've grown up with me, same age, a little bit older, a little bit younger, it doesn't matter. You guys know that I'm committed to this lifestyle. I'm committed to teaching. I'm committed to understanding and prosper in business, being an entrepreneur. I'm committed to collecting as much data as possible, man. My extrovertedness kicks in. I love people, man. So it's the reason why I like to document this stuff, is because later on I can call myself out and review myself and say, hey man, you ain't doing what you said you're doing. All right, man, enjoy this beautiful day in the Chicagoland area. I gotta admire what Walter Payton did, man. That guy ran up and down hills steeper and longer than this. And that guy was a monster, he was a beast. So, using the hill as well. Get out that way, right? It's a physical. Get that physical going. All right, take care, guys. See you later.